Let me ask you a question. Has anything ever happened to you that you couldn't explain? That made you feel sort of foolish when you tried to tell somebody about it? Well, if it has, you have plenty of company, as you'll soon see.
And what it is nothing less than a tremendous explosion of creativity. And what it is nothing less than a tremendous explosion of creativity. And what it is nothing less than a tremendous explosion of creativity and aesthetic self-expression on the part of the human species. For me, the glory of the human animal is cognitive activity, song, dance, sculpture, poetry. For me, the glory of the human animal is cognitive activity, song, dance, sculpture, poetry. For me, the glory of the human animal is cognitive activity, song, dance, sculpture, poetry.
And what would we say of time? The time of our lives and the time of our observations. Khalil Gibran might say, you would measure time, the measureless and the immeasurable. You would adjust your conduct and even direct the course of your spirit according to the hours and seasons. Of time you would make a stream upon whose bank you would sit and watch it flowing. Yet the timeless in you is aware of life's timelessness, and knowing that yesterday is but today's memory, and tomorrow is today's dream. And that which sings and contemplates in you is still dwelling within the bounds of the first moment which scattered the stars into space. Who among you does not feel that his power to love is boundless? And yet who does not feel that very love, though boundless, encompassed within the center of his being, and moving not from love thought to love thought, nor love deed to other love deed? And is not time even as love is, undivided and spaceless? But if in your thought you must measure time into seasons, let each of us a season encircle all the other seasons, and let today's embrace the past with the remembrance and the future with longing. And let today's embrace the past with the remembrance and the future with longing. And let today's embrace the past with the remembrance and the future with longing.
When power corrupts, poetry cleanses. When power leads man towards ignorance, poetry reminds him of his limitations. When power narrows the area of man's concern, poetry reminds him of the richness and diversity of existence. When power corrupts, poetry cleanses.
The weight of the world is love. Under the burden of solitude, under the burden of dissatisfaction, the weight we carry is love. The weight of the world is love. Under the burden of solitude, under the burden of dissatisfaction, the the weights we carry, is love. Who can deny? In dreams, it touches the body. In thought, constructs a miracle. In imagination, anguishes, till born in human looks out of the heart, burning with purity, for the burden of life is love. But we carry the weight wearily, and so must rest in the arms of love at last, must rest in the arms of love. No rest without love, no sleep without dreams of love. Be mad or chill, obsessed with angels or machines, the final wish is love. Cannot be bitter, cannot deny, cannot withhold if denied. The weight is too heavy, must give for no return, as thought is given in solitude, in all the excellence of its excess. The warm bodies shine together in the darkness. The hand moves to the center of the flesh, the skin trembles in happiness, and the soul comes joyful to the eye. Yes, yes, that's what I wanted. I always wanted. I always wanted to return to the body where I was born. Where I was born. Where I was born.